Hey there, welcome. I'm Newsflash, and I've got a wonderful experience that I want to share with you all. It's a showcase on a place called the Ideas Store. And while I do like to feature the cool businesses here in town, this one is actually much more than that. It likes to bring in community, culture, and the arts. Those are three things that will be there after you and me. And it's something that I've been trying to highlight on my channel in between the street interviews. So, as we get into this, I'm going to be sharing some of the reasons why it touched me and why it impacted me so much. It was running May 15th to May 30th, and I really got to explore and experience so much more thanks to the team that put it on down at the philosophy department from Lethbridge, Alberta's university. I was, yeah, blown away. So, come on, let's go check it out.
Back again, and we have three questions.
Sounds good to me.
Where are you from?
I am from Brooklyn, New York.
Oh, that's good to have somebody who's not from Lethbridge.
Yeah, I've been here since some end of August, so I've been here for a few months. I've put down some roots, but yeah.
Yeah, got that 12-month kind of rotation of seeing the four seasons.
Yes, yeah.
That's something that not everybody in Lethbridge manages to get to see all four seasons before they leave. We get the students that leave in April.
Yes, yeah.
Alrighty. Well, next question is, what is something that you love about Alberta?
What's something I love about Alberta? I think I had never been to the plains before I got here, and just seeing prairie. Like at first, when I first got off the bus, got on the bus coming from Calgary down here when I first moved here, it was like, well, this is kind of wild. It's it's like I'm on Mars or something. But so I think I like just seeing vast, open, flat spaces. But I also like the coulees. I like the geography. One thing I like, what's a funny thing that's I didn't expect, when you get a falafel sandwich, I eat a lot of falafel sandwiches. When you get a falafel sandwich, at least in Calgary, but sometimes in the city here too, they're enormous, and they're all and the people make falafel in a different way here than they do any other place I've ever been.
Oh wow!
And that's I kind of like it. So
yeah. There's a strange little local, not a chain, but a legendary group of restaurants called the Burger Baron.
Yeah.
And I believe that they're a Lebanese. It's somewhere in the Middle East that a lot of them are from.
Yeah.
Maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah. In New York, a lot of the people who make falafel are Yemeni or Saudi, and Lebanese immigrants. They're there. There are plenty of Lebanese people in New York, but not as many as in this part of Canada, I think.
Yeah, it's unique when different regions come to a location and kind of bring everything that they've got.
Yeah.
And suddenly, then you can find a lot of what another place has in a little local place like Southern Alberta, having falafel that's hot.
Yeah. And there's all sorts of Nepali folks here too, and that's interesting. And there are Nepali folks in New York City, but because they're a lower percentage of the population, they have less of an impact on I don't know, everyday life or food or whatever, just walking around, so.
Now, is Brooklyn very vertical?
How do you mean?
As far as the urban center, does it grow up?
Yeah, there's a downtown core, which is a bunch of office buildings and a bunch of 20 plus story buildings. And then there are a bunch of other there's a lot of high density, there's a lot of big apartment buildings, but there are also people who live in houses and private houses and whatever smallish buildings.
So you got to explore some different areas, and then coming to the plains, it wasn't so different of a Calgary has that kind of downtown with some good height, and then it does build up for different apartment centers and stuff like that. But the city kind of sprawls as a weird urban experiment.
Yeah. I think there's a little bit of that in Lethbridge too. Yeah. That when obviously the population here has gotten a lot bigger in the last couple of decades, and it has built out rather than building up. I'm a fan of building up. Hopefully we build up in Lethbridge before too long. Yeah.
It would be nice to see, because growing up and witnessing it, I hate finding out that the edge of town is now like way like 20 blocks further than I had imagined. So last question, what is something that you would like to share with us?
Let's see. I do a lot of like philosophy outreach things. It's an important part of my life. I teach philosophy at the U of L, and I think that there's a lot of things that I like about like philosophy. There's a lot of things that I like about, reading and teaching and like, the sort of university end of things. But it's like talking with like people who aren't university people that I think is like the most rewarding and the most like immediate kind of philosophy for me. And I think that, I'm biased, but like, I think that it's really important. I think that like when people feel lonely or alienated or just like they're missing something from their social lives, you don't even have to be like an over the top lonely person, you know what I mean? Like just feeling like too many of your relationships are transactional or sort of samey or whatever, then like I think like finding space in your life to like talk philosophy with other people is a way of overcoming that, and I just like I really value it. There's like, I was listening to this podcast the other day, and this guy was making the point that like people are way more afraid of talking to strangers than they should be. That like when you ask people like, oh, you talk to a stranger or whatever, like what are the odds that it's going to be like, that it's going to be a train wreck, that they're going to be like really unpleasant or nasty or whatever, and people will like have these wild estimates, half the conversations with strangers are going to be like a train wreck. But then, but then like, you actually like, if you actually just in experiments put people in conversations with strangers, it's more like 1 or 2%. Like it's very, very rare for people to like actually like be really thrown off by talking to strangers. And I think that like, yeah, you can't always like talk philosophy with strangers. Like it's hard to strike those conversations up. But like, if you reach out, then like it'll pay off.
And sometimes just a question can get the mind thinking.
Yeah, like I think like one of the fun things about talking philosophy with people who don't study it all the time is like okay, if you do philosophy for a living or whatever, it's just like a really central part of your life, like it is for me, then like you probably have you have a certain sense of what counts as a philosophical question or something like that. And one of the things that I think is like just the most fun, something that I really enjoy, is like, well, people will bring all sorts of stuff to the table. They'll bring political questions, current events questions. People will bring like just sorts of ideas that they're interested in, and maybe they're scientific ideas, or maybe they're literary ideas, or maybe it's just sort of like, someone's got some sort of pet theory, and then like finding the road back to philosophy, like finding that connection is like this super, I think for me, it's like creative and rewarding, and yeah.
That's awesome for you to be wanting to do outreach and community stuff like that, but then to also really enjoy how to make these connect the dots kind of with philosophy. Or with humanity seeking a little bit of philosophy. I like it.
Yeah. And it's like, the thing, it doesn't work as well as it used to because Wikipedia changed, but like there used to be the thing on Wikipedia, and it's still true to some extent, that if you click like the first link on a Wikipedia article, like not to how to pronounce something, but the first link to another Wikipedia article, like a substantive link, like after a few clicks, almost all the time, it'll go back to the article for philosophy.
Oh, wow.
Sort of like, which I really like. And it's just like it's like a really concrete way of making this point that just like, kind of all roads lead to Rome. And like, again, I would say that I'm biased, blah, blah, blah. But like, I didn't invent Wikipedia like that.
That just happened.
That just happened, yeah.
Oh, and that's so much fun. I really appreciate everything that you do, but I appreciate your time today as a just underlying thing for the ideas store and what time you put into that. Because We in Little Lethbridge got to benefit from a big idea from Brooklyn, and we're going to take it forward. That's our mandate and mission with this.
I hope so.
But Ian, it's just so good to hear you kind of focus on, philosophy is for the people, and that Ian is for the people. It's really been heartwarming.
And the philosophy comes out of the community, and the ideas come out of the community. You don't need me to import stuff from the United States. That you can people have ideas that they care about, and they do work that gives them insight into the world. And if you just give people a space where they can talk about it, then you'll learn things.
Yeah. Well, what a lesson that we've been taught by you. Thank you very much.
Oh, shucks. Thank you. Appreciate your work.
Yeah. Take care.
What a wonderful human. But what is an ideas store? Well, it's a collection of events, workshops, panels of speakers, and just a whole lot of artwork, getting the mind going.
Good to meet you again, and we're going to just explore the gala in here.
Totally. Go for it.
They had events put on by the Métis Society during the day that I did not get to attend, and I really, really feel like I missed out on those. Nearly every evening or afternoon I would stop by and get to bother Ian, but most importantly, I got to see the community getting involved. It was just such a joy to drink in the different events, and even if it was just at the tail end of them wrapping something up, seeing who was there and the smiles being made, it was great to see a community coming together. There was youth, there was faculty members from the university, there was members of the community that have been business owners or have been involved in different volunteer projects or cultural projects. I was always shaking hands with someone new that was happy to see what was going on and just overjoyed that an ideas store could happen here in Lethbridge, just to share what we have as a city, because Lethbridge has so much to offer, and not everybody is aware that there are events, but even that there are, things to participate in, activities. You can really plug into this community if you look for it. And I found the Ideas Store. While I need to get the word out, I'm just not able to finish up editing and be a newscaster in the sense of upcoming events. So let's just go over what was there. You can see wonderful artwork is all over the walls. I'll have the link in the description. But a lot of it comes from people that are directly involved in this community. I was able to meet with the Strudel brand, and they have one of their curiosity boxes located inside there. It was fun to see who would come out to the different movie nights and be able to either give insights or just take in the content. And overall, my time at the Ideas Store put me in connection with things that actually engage my mind and my interests.
To the mic. But I like when we can ground ourselves, find our bodies, find some compassion, so that we can listen with intention, right?
Here we have Ty Storm and his wife, Dr. Ivana Duraskovic, and they were doing musical therapy. So cool. Following a discussion on the two revolutions in 19th century Japan, we have the NCS Yosekai Dance Troupe. Mark Braverock and Yale Belanger from the U of L discuss homelessness and the housing crisis. We have Jigging Workshop from the Lethbridge and area Métis. Strudel brand had a curiosity box, and it just kept getting loaded with fun. That was the magic of this Ideas Store. Down from the U of L, they come into the downtown core and brought so much enjoyable content for the whole family, for diverse minds, and we all got to experience something of a greater community thanks to the wonderful efforts of Ian. He made sure to have events, workshops, and talks set up so that people of all different backgrounds could find something that they would enjoy. For me, I discovered something inside that I was hoping to find, and that is a connection, a real engagement with my interests, with my mind. And I gotta be honest, I don't find that in a lot of life. I'm often
media is very blasé for me. The streaming services, I just don't really, I don't gravitate to. And even with family and friends, I find myself just a little less engaged than I could be. But all it takes is just a little walk outside your door to find the community, to engage with it, and discover that there is passions, that there is a richness that gives back. Ian mentioned in his comments there that some people don't believe that a conversation with a stranger will go well. And my whole channel is conversations with strangers. And it really drove home that we are all looking for a connection, hoping that there will be a connection. And where will we find it? That's such a mystery, such a big question. Because down at the university, there is a bustling community. It is always inquisitive or curious about the new stages that they're taking on in their schooling. But where is the rest of the city going to find that kind of curiosity? What's going to engage with our minds? And it was a delight to discover that not only was something set up for us, but it was set up in a way that allowed so much diversity.
We don't need to get any closer than that.
I really love the University of Lethbridge. It brings so many different people into our city, allows us the opportunity to find new, brilliant minds that will take new perspectives and show us a difference, show us that this world holds beauty and that the perspectives that we hold or they hold can finally communicate and cross-pollinate. It was just a real delight. I gotta thank Ian, I gotta thank the philosophy department, and we gotta make this an annual thing. So go out and explore. Let's see what you find.